Hello, my name is Andrew and I'm the Technology Coordinator for Modus Ministries. Today we are going to be looking at how to create a Proclaim presentation. Proclaim is the presentation software that we use for lyrics, announcement slides, speaker slides, anything that we want to show on the screen during a Praise in the Pub event. So first we're going to open up Proclaim, which I have here. This can be downloaded from the Proclaim Faith Life website for free, and you can log in with the Modus account, and we can add individual users if that is necessary. So once we have Proclaim open, we're going to want to first duplicate a previous presentation. So we'll go up to File, Duplicate, and March 11th here is a previous Praise in the Pub event, so I will just click on that one, and it will duplicate it into a new format. Here you can see that the presentation date has been set to February 17th, but we actually are going to be presenting on the 24th. So you can click this little date picker and pick the 24th or whatever the correct day is. Also, one of the first things is we want to rename this to the correct date, in this case, February 24th. As this goes and downloads, you'll see these little blue spinny things, and it will just download everything for this correct presentation date. One of the first things that we want to do is modify the songs. So the first song of this previous set was Open the Eyes of My Heart here, so we'll click on that one. But this is not going to be the first song of the February 24th Praise in the Pub event, obviously. So how we want to go about changing these, we have a software called Planning Center Services that we put in all of the different songs, events, speakers, everything, and that is all coordinated. So I'll just open up a web browser and go to services.planningcenteronline.com. And I've already logged in, and you will see that we have an event for February 24th. So I will open that one up. And we can see that here is the service flow for that night. So we can see here that the first song is Revelation Song. So what we want to do is click on this little music sheet icon to open the song in the music view. Once that loads up, what we want to take note of is the CCLI number right here. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and I'm just going to copy this CCLI number, and we will use that back in Proclaim. So with that CCLI number, I'm just going to paste that number into the little search field, and you will see that it comes up with Song Select by CCLI, and this is the song that we are going to be using. So I will go ahead and click on that one. And it automatically pulls in all the lyrics, all the copyright information, everything that we need just from that one CCLI number. So even though this pulled in all of the lyrics, we still do need to do some editing of this song. One of the first things, we like to have a Bible verse on the first slide. So we're just going to add a new group. Groups are these little headers that denote what section certain text is in. So to add a custom header, we're going to make a little left bracket, and we'll call this Bible verse. And then underneath that bracket, we're just going to put whatever we want in there. For now, I'm just going to put Bible verse. And obviously, we will be tweaking that later. Next, we need to break up the songs into chunks. As you can see, there's a lot of text on this second slide, and we do not want that. So you can just click wherever you would like to insert a slide break, and then just hit return, and it will automatically break that up. These breaks should be done, we want like 2 to 3 lines on each slide, and we want these slide breaks to go where they kind of naturally fit, where there's a like a pause in the song where you'd be taking a breath or something like that. So I'm just going to go through this and insert a couple breaks where they fit well. Again, keeping in mind we want 2 to 3 lines per slide if possible. All right, so now that we have this song all chunked out, you can see on the right-hand side here there is 2 to 3 lines per slide. Next, we need to tweak the arrangement. So the arrangement is this bar up top here, which just basically says, oh, we're going to do verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 1, etc., all the way through the song. So the first thing that we want to do is we want this Bible verse to show up at the very start of each slide. So we're going to type Bible verse, as that is the name of the header, and then you can see that it pops up here. Next, I'm going to go through and add choruses where they are necessary, just by typing the header name where it needs to go. And at the end of every song, we like to have a blank slide. So you can just add blank, and then it will automatically insert a blank slide at the very end. All right, so we now have the entire song chunked out. The arrangement is all good, but you notice we have this red, one or more lines on this item have been scaled to fit. So what we want to do is go through and see some of these, the text like goes all the way to the edge, and this one is not a huge deal. Maybe on this slide a little bit, you can see that this font is just a little bit smaller. It's just a dumb thing that Proclaim does, and there's not a really good way to avoid it. So what we want to do is add some line breaks to make these lines shorter. So in particular, this "Empower be to you, the only wise king." So we're going to add a line break after this word "you." So we're just going to delete the space, add a return, and I think this one also needs it. So now you can see we have 4 lines on this slide. So we're going to want to break that one up. I think this one is another one that's causing that red line. Let's see what else we got in here. You just kind of want to go through these and go until that red error message goes away, which is quite finicky and annoying, but you know, we do what we can. This one especially, you can see where this first line is it's much longer than the second, so it causes it to shrink, and it's kind of sometimes just a hunting game around of where is the error coming from. All right, so now that we added this final return, you can see that the red error message at the top has gone away. And now I just kind of want to go through and double check that all these make sense. None of them are too long or have too many lines on a slide. And it looks like we are all good here. So once we have the lyrics all laid out correctly, this is a little bit more the fun part. We can choose a background that goes with it. There's this background button right here. You can click on that one and go to Browse Media. And then there is a ton of different motion backgrounds and stuff. But what you're mostly going to want to use is in these boards up here. They're nice and categorized and stuff that we have licensing for. So we can just pick, like if it was a song about water, you can click water, and then there's a whole bunch of running water, fire, there's a fireplace, you know, just kind of stuff like that. In this case, I'm going to go with this glitter rush category, and you can tell that there's a gazillion of these in here. This one looks cool, and we're just going to click on that one and go apply as background. And then that will download in and apply as the background. So once the blue spinny thing goes away, that means everything is all downloaded, ready to go, and this is a complete song. So this one does not have to be screwed with anymore. Obviously, we're going to have to add a Bible verse in here later, but that's super easy to do. Next, what you're going to want to do is repeat this process for all the different songs. Again, just following the Planning Center workflow and grabbing the CCLI numbers. Like next, I'd be going to Waymaker, I would get this one, get the CCLI number, plunk it on in here, repeat the chunking process, and if there's that red error bar, and of course if you want to change the background, whatever, that gets changed on a per song basis. So once you have a completed Proclaim presentation, all the lyrics are in there, you believe that the arrangement's all good, everything like that, it's a good idea to go back through and just double check that the lyrics are all in order. To do this, you can either pull up the week's Spotify playlist or the YouTube video for the specific song, but one of my favorite ways is to use Planning Center. So if we go into Rehearse and then Media Player, you can see that it brings up all of the different YouTube videos that are in with these songs all in a nice little list. You can just click through them super fast. And so I'm going to listen through to Revelation Song just to make sure that all of the lyrics are in order and the arrangement is correct. Another super handy thing for when you're just quickly listening through all these, there's a Chrome extension called YouTube Playback Speed Control that I have installed that'll just allow me, it's this little box up here, I can just crank the speed up to be like 4 times, especially if you know the song pretty good and you're just listening to it really fast, then it'll just like go really fast and you can click through just to make sure that the lyrics are all in order.